guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Santiago, an emerging artist living in Melbourne, and in today's video you'll see all the process behind my first solo exhibition here in Melbourne, so let's go for it. You already know that I usually start with a little bit of context, so I've had so many other chances to show my art around the city, and I'll probably talk about that in future videos, but this is the first time that I get to prepare a full body of work to display in a well-known gallery. So I think the best way to start is talking about the gallery itself. No Vacancy is in the heart of Melbourne CBD, more precisely in the QE, has been around since 2008, so it's a broad space. It also has a coffee shop. I love the mushroom sandwiches, by the way. And it usually displays a different artist each week. They have worked with universities, institutions, and well-established artists from a variety of mediums. They do installation, performance, illustration, painting, sculpture, and media arts. This place is amazing. Well, as I have been living nearby, I usually drop there to grab a coffee, make some sketches, and enjoy the exhibition. So I could get in touch with the gallerist, and sometime after he had a look of my work. Of course, the gallery has its own way to start a formal process with the artist. We got into it and we had our first meeting. We discussed the paintings we wanted to be part of a show, also the way how to display it in the walls, you know, the details and all that stuff related to an application process for an exhibition. We agreed to show the most of the paintings from the portrait challenge. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can see the video around here. So we choose the portraits because are the most consistent and numerous of my series. I also want him to have a look of some of my paintings that weren't related to the portrait challenge, and he suggested to include some of those in the show. But I was a bit unsure about that. It would break the concept of the portrait, but he insisted. At that time, I was also working on the video for my art in 2022, and I decided to go for a similar idea when planning the exhibition. All the portraits are painted on a sheet of canvas, which means that I had to figure out a way to frame them so I could hang it on the walls. But as you might know, framing 30 paintings is a big investment. So after thinking about that a lot, I went for foam board. I pasted the paintings on the foam board for making the artwork like a pop out of the wall, and I used some acetate to make these shapes that I could by myself, so I could have the way to attach the painting to the wall. Also, as you know, I have some house plants, like my potato plant that I always show off, that has been growing since I started the challenges. So I felt it was important to show this bond that my paintings has with the plant, like suggesting this idea of care and growth. And having that in mind, I wrote this little text that would be part of the exhibition. I'm gonna read this. 30 days of constant painting depicting some of the people that I know. Each face represents a human being, and attached to it, there is a story. Here are my friends, family and co-workers, and random people online. There is also someone generated by artificial intelligence. Those are the faces that surrounds the daily basis of an artist living abroad. Faces that I almost forgot, faces that I haven't seen in a while and got used to see by a screen, and faces who are now my closest relatives. Each portrait has a unique blend of color, line, and strokes that matches with the identity and personality of the subject, and also how I see them as humans. Growing a skill is similar to growing a house plant. You have to be present and learn to wait. If you put too little or too much, the outcome will be disappointing. If you forget about it, then you will have to start from the scratches, but pushing so hard can be damaging. At the end, it's just something you have to do and take care every day. So that's the text. The gallerist suggested to design some postcards so people could have it as a souvenir when visiting the gallery, and here is the outcome of that. I even included a book of comments, which is just a new brand notebook where people can write their thoughts about the paintings. Now, the only problem was how to move all these artworks and the plants to the gallery. So I lived close enough to get there by walking, but there was a lot of stuff. So this is what happened. So the day of the show, I was a bit nervous, like how couldn't I? I got this beach trolley for moving all my paints when I'm doing murals. So I decided to use it as my Uber to transport the paintings and the plants. And on my way to the gallery, I had this feeling that I was like walking my potato plant as if it was a pet. When I got there, I started to measure the walls and make all the spots where the paintings would be hanged. And believe it or not, that was the hardest part. For some reason, all the calculations I did were wrong and I had to start all over again. I felt a little bit disappointed of my math skills, but I managed to get it done. So I divided the space in 5 areas. The biggest wall would have all the monochromatic paintings. On the right side, there is a small wall where I hanged all the portraits I painted at the very beginning of the challenge, because all of them are like in a similar style. On the left side of this big wall, I placed the biggest painting of the show, which is the Lady of the Snails. The contrast portraits were on the wall right next to the door, and the paintings that weren't directly related to the portraits were located on a wall next to the coffee area. I was a bit worried about these paintings next to the coffee area because just underneath there people can sit and have a coffee, so accidents can't happen. And I was a bit worried, but at the end everything was alright. Overthinking aside, I used these white boxes that the gallery provide for putting there my plants, notebook with the comments, also the postcards I designed, and the list of the artworks. This is how the full exhibition looked like. As I am an emerging artist with few followers, I decided not to hold an opening show, but the most of my friends came to visit and have a look. Since the very first day, I saw people coming and enjoying, and while I was there, I could have a little chat with some of them. Well, the most of them looked like interested and they seemed to like what I have done. And then at that very first day of the show, while coming back home, I had this weird feeling. I felt something that I haven't felt since I was in uni. This feeling that I could truly take a rest. I really felt that I deserved to take a rest. Weird, isn't it? Holding a solo exhibition is like the goal of the most of the artists, and of course it's something amazing. It's an amazing experience, but it has also been like a roller coaster for me, because hanging your work there where everybody can see it, as fantastic as it is also a frightening experience. You feel naked. You feel like you're putting yourself out there naked in front of everybody, and all the little mistakes you didn't care while painting are now so obvious and visible that sometimes you just want to remove the painting from the wall and hide it forever. But then visitors arrived and cheer you up and point what they are like about your paintings, what they admire about what you did. So, it's like a lot of emotions. It has been a time full of emotions, and being in the spotlight is something that, I don't know, it's a mix of feelings. It's nice to have your paintings in the spotlight, but it's weird to find yourself in the spotlight. It's a feeling that some might find addictive, and I know why. I already know why. Also have to say that being in the gallery and going through all this process has been a so nice and relaxed experience. Communication has played like a key role in all of this. With the gallerist and the staff, we got really along. I really liked it to work with them. So now that I have had this show, I'm looking forward to the future. I'm currently working on a big canvas, and when it's done, I would like to make a video about it. That's gonna be a different video, let's say. I've also been working in some postcards and stickers for this Lunar New Year. This year is gonna be the year of the Black Rabbit. So I make these illustrations that you can find online. I'll drop the link down below so you can have a look at it and purchase it if you like. There is also my Instagram account where you can see more of my paintings and illustrations. And for me, that's all. Don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, and drop a comment and all those things. You know how it works. Thank you so much for staying till the end of this video, and see you in the next one. Special thanks to Matthew from No Vacancy and all the No Vacancy staff for allowing me to put my art in there. Thank you guys so much for giving me this chance. It has been amazing for me. I have learned a lot. I feel that this is a big step on my artistic career, so thank you guys so much.